Hey guys, Josh here with Chris and Corissa Grant from Worthy Chaos Comics. We are here for a creator spotlight. We know you guys enjoy learning about these independent comics. And let me tell you, I read the first four issues of Redemption. I read issue one last night, two, three, and four this morning, and I'm intrigued. You see, I've got my supernatural shirt on because guess what? This is a supernatural story.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's really it's been called, well, it fits so many, it's hard to say what the genre of it, because it's like horror, supernatural, adventure. There's obviously the underlining romance, but it's not romantic. So it's like a love story. It's like a horror love story adventure thing going on. But yeah, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural and Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Evil Dead, Good Omens, all thrown in there. So
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, and I enjoyed reading it this morning. I
I
kind
think
of like the Seraphina and the I can't remember the male's name, the main character.
yeah. Draven, if you
Yes,
have you ever seen The Crow?
yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
So that
yes.
was Eric Draven. So ours is just Draven. So
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of caught that,
yeah.
and I read issue one and two this morning. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to finish this afternoon. I had a stack of comics I'm going through as well. But just I enjoyed it. I love the supernatural aspect. I enjoyed the character development was really good. I thought that was great.
Thank you.
You kind of immediately become attached to the characters and
Yeah.
you want to know more as soon as you start reading. So that was a really great thing.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I,
very
go
fast
ahead.
paced.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How long? So obviously we read issue one through four. How long have you been writing? I think 2002 you started this series.
Actually, so the writing part is 3 years. I had the idea way like 18 years ago, but we didn't start writing the story until like 3 years ago. So in 3 years, 100 issues, about 100 issues were written.
Wow.
Um, so it's a very long series. Series one is 45. And so we're focusing on that, obviously. Then if we want to continue it, series two is even more chaotic. But we started making comics a year ago. And we have released 1 through 7. Issue 8 is released now in January while people watching this. But we've already made 11. So and 3 other issues. I redid issue 1. So I redid that completely. The first artist just wasn't good enough. So we redid that. And then I have a digital issue prequel so people could see how they met if they want. And then there's a spin-off issue 1 which shows a what if. So in 1 year's time we've made 14 issues. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. You've been busy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My artist
Awesome.
is phenomenal and fast. So those two things go great together. My wallet is not as happy, but I am thrilled. So
Right.
That is amazing. I mean, the whole like I was reading, and Chris, I'm further along than you are, but the whole Sarah and Draven moonlighting, will they, won't they thing is just hilarious to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. They have and even when they do, how they feel about each other, they never really say it to the other person. So you still got that like they don't feel worthy of the other person thing, which makes it a little bit more fun. And in book 3, which is issue 13, 14, we have another 2 main characters join in, and one's a guy. So we get that triangle going on that Draven's always jealous and wants to beat him up. And those are my favorite. Book 3 is my favorite. You're not supposed to have a favorite. Book 3 is my favorite. So issue 14 on for about 12 issues is it's all zombies. It's Resident Evil 2 inspired completely.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's actually why I started writing. I played the game. Resident Evil 2 was the first game I ever played besides Atari. Let's not go into my age. But But Resident Evil 2,
Hey, we had Ataris.
yeah, I had Atari, I had, then Duck Hunt came out, Nintendo, and but my first adult game, I saw the commercial for Resident Evil 2 with the crocodile that comes out of the sewer. That
Sherry!
that literal 3-4 seconds of the crocodile was enough for me to go buy PlayStation 1, rent the game, tried to play it, could not. Leon just kept walking into the fire. I got frustrated, threw the controller. My brother comes in and plays like it's nothing because he's been playing Zelda since he could walk. So I got mad, kicked him out, and then that was it. I started playing, and I went out, bought that, and bought Final Fantasy VII in the same day. Came home, and the rental didn't have any instructions. So like I'm reading the instructions, and I'm like, there's an auto aim. Like, I was so pissed. But yeah, I came obsessed with the game, and then I started role playing, and I started role playing Claire Redfield for 15 years. I role played as her online. And that's kind of where all the story ideas came from, and all that stuff. So that started the whole thing. So I'm here because of Resident Evil 2.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. And the best PlayStation 1 game ever made, Final Fantasy VII. I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't even remember what made me buy that, because there was like, they're totally two different games. Like, it's not exactly, similar, but I must have seen like the poster of Cloud and was like, oh, I gotta get that, because those are the only two
Oh yeah,
games.
it's like the early version of the Elder Scrolls. Everyone needed a copy of that game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
awesome.
then
Now
of
you can't
course
buy it.
I got Resident Evil 1 after that, but it wasn't as good. Sorry. It was just a bunch of keys. It was cool, but not as good.
Yeah, I do remember that one. Well, let's talk about how people can go about finding Redemption and picking up copies of it. Obviously, you do conventions. Do you sell the book at the conventions?
I sell 1 through 3 at the conventions, and starting this following year, I'll be doing the hardcovers there too. So I only really bring 1 through 3 because I bought the most of those. I bought like 500 copies of each when I first started, thinking, oh, how far can I get? Well, whoops, I got pretty far. So 1 through 3, the hardcover will be there. So I did not expect to get to, issue 11 done by, in 1 year. But yeah, so I sell there. I also have a website, worthychaoscomics.com. I only have issues 1 through 3 on there, I think, but I have the hardcover and I have all the digital. And if anyone wants it, I always add it on. But Kickstarters are my main source of getting it out there. And I did 7 this year, and or last year at this point, and this coming year I have 6 planned. So we'll have 6 Kickstarters this year.
Nice. Yeah, and I love finding stuff on Kickstarter. There's a lot of great books that you discover. I've had several this year that we've come across that I ordered, and I just love reading like the independent comics, because sometimes their stories are 10 times better than what the big companies are doing right now. So
yeah, I haven't read a mainstream comic since the 90s. I was obsessed with Ghost Rider, and that was about it. And then now it's like the stories that indies write are so passionate. I mean, when you read a mainstream comic, they're all separated. Nobody knows what's really connected. They either write it, they ink it, pencil it. They don't always get the whole story, so they don't really have as much investment in it. They get a paycheck and they move on. Whereas the indie people, we're doing it for us. We want to see our story, created and written. Granted, I've done it in the most stupid way possible, so nobody do what I do. But I make them so far ahead that obviously if a Kickstarter fails, whatever, it's still made. So, issue 11's in the middle of getting colored right now. So and we're only releasing 8 now. So yeah, we're far ahead. So you're going to get your book with my Kickstarter, because the second my Kickstarter ends, I mail them out. So I think I pretty much ship half the first day, and then the rest of the next day, and then whatever payments are delayed, I'll do it when 2 weeks are up. So everyone gets their Kickstarters really early with me. So
that's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, sometimes like my wife ordered a board game. She did a Kickstarter for a board game, and it was like almost a year before you get the board game after it's over.
Man, when I have to order ahead now, but I used to not order till the end, and then I would pay extra for expedited, and it would take 6 days, and I would felt guilty that people had to wait those 6 days. I can't imagine waiting a year
Yeah.
to release it. But we have a Kickstarter every other month. So I kind of have to get them out there so that people will get them and they can move on to the next one and all that. And I would do it monthly if I thought my fans could afford it. So the goal is someday to do monthly Kickstarters just so people can get it. And also something to tell you about the story that I probably should have said before. So the thing that makes our story a little bit more unique is the main characters are written by two completely different people. So I write the story and I write Seraphina. And then I kick it over to my co-writer who writes everything Draven. So all of Draven's thoughts and speech are my co-writer, Jessica. So when you're reading it, they have these two completely different personalities. And I'm not that good of a writer. It's because it's two different people. So it makes it a little bit more unique. And you get that personality thing that we love doing. That's from role playing. We wrote these while role playing, and that's the characters we played. So yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, and
I like that.
Like you're killing it writing, because I'm working on my first comic, and I've been working on it for over a year now, doing just issue 1.
Well, it was not intentional. I only had book 3 in my mind, and I probably wrote a bunch of it too before I even met my co-writer. So I would say book 3 was written before I even met her. But we went a little overboard and wound up with I think now we have completed 11 novels, which winds up being about 100 issues, and we're still writing. I wrote 2 chapters this week, and I think she sent me a half a chapter this week. So yeah, we're still writing. There's going to be at least 3 complete series right now. Series 1 and series 2 are completely written, and we just started book series 3, and we're pretty much finishing the first book in that. So the first series is pretty much them trying to survive. She's an angel descendant, he's a demon descendant, and their fathers are after her because of the angelic weapon she was created from. So if they get this weapon, they can tip the scales of heaven and hell in their favor. Unfortunately, her soul activates it. So now it's a survival horror now. They try to defeat against everything their fathers throw at them, zombies, hellhounds, Anubis, everything you could possibly think of. And it gets more and more intense as it goes. Book 1, which is the first 7 issues, is kind of like a Silent Hill setup. They're trapped in this town that's merging with hell. And so everything's going after them, ghosts and zombies, and there's vampires and all that. And then at the end of that, they go into book 2, which is going to start now, which is issue 8. So issue 8 is them trapped in an insane asylum that's haunted over and trapped. So they can't get out. And now they're trapped with giant salamanders, which I just got the plushie for yesterday.
Nice.
And yeah, these are an homage to the Lickers from Resident Evil 2, because I hated those bastards. So these are our homage to them, inspired by them. And they've got zombies in there, but our zombies are a little different. Somebody asked me a question during a podcast. I did 140 podcasts last year. But they asked me a question I never had asked before, and it said, what kind of zombies do you have? And being a zombie girl, I should have thought of that, but I actually have 3 forms of zombies that I never realized I had until he asked me. So book 1 is the Dawn of the Dead type. Hell's full, they're merging over, so you've got the hell kind. Book 2, they're the mental patients that are possessing the ghost or possessing the dead bodies. So they're actually ghosts possessing the bodies kind of zombies. Nice. Which makes them harder to kill because there's nothing to destroy. You have to literally just destroy them and they can still come back. But book 3 is our virus type from Resident Evil. It's a different kind of virus, and it's one that is unique to the story and all that. But yeah, we have 3 forms of zombies, so that was fun to figure out.
Awesome. And it pays an homage to all 3 of what you see in movies and video games, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this, especially issue 8 now, I got a little obsessed with covers, and I wanted as many covers as I could that inspired the book. So the cover for issue 8, variant B, is Jeremy Rempak, which did the interior art and the Resident Evil comic book for Wildstorm, or was it DC, I think is the main name. He also worked with Marvel, DC, IDW, Blizzard, Capcom, and he does the interior art for Injustice, which I don't read, but my brother was thrilled to hear that. So there you go.
Josh, you read those.
Was great. Yeah, written by Tom Taylor. Those were amazing books.
Yeah, and so issue 9, the artist is Carl Moline, which is an interior artist for Buffy comics. And of course, Buffy's a big inspiration. So,
again, Josh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, and then issue 10 is got or issue 11 has Kevin Sharp, which does the interior art for one of the Resident Evils, but I got him because he's the interior artist for Army of Darkness comic.
Yeah, so, those are great too.
Yeah, so I got a little obsessed with covers. I'm still trying to find a Supernatural because the only person that would write me back is like, we're busy, and I was like, I don't care how long it takes, I need one.
Nice.
And Silent Hill, I wanted Terry Jones, but they didn't contact me either, so I'm still trying, but hopefully. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you mentioned Buffy. I'm going to reach down here on my bookshelf real quick. Oh yeah, huge Buffy fan.
Yeah, well, there's an Easter egg in every issue from a horror game, TV, movie, or whatever. And one of them, I can't tell you which issue, is got Buffy's her necklace and the stabby, whatever her
Pointy.
Pointy, yeah. Yeah, so that's there on the floor in one of the issues. But yeah, each one has an Easter egg on them, so.
Well, I might have to go back and look what I read this morning, because one of the ones I read was the vampires.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The first one for issue 1, I always give away, is the alligator in the sewer. So if you missed it, you have to go back and see it. And that's an homage to the Resident Evil alligator, which is why it was written. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we've enjoyed reading them. I'm going to read the other 2 this weekend and go ahead and finish them up. But I'm looking forward to grabbing more of them, and I hope other people will buy into this too. I mean, Josh is wearing a Supernatural shirt. We know a lot of people like this kind of stuff. Obviously, I mean, they have conventions just for Supernatural now.
I just went there 2 weeks ago in Nashville.
Oh, really? Awesome.
He took one of my hardcovers, so I'm excited.
Who did?
Jared Padalecki took one of my hardcovers. He signed mine.
That's amazing.
And then took one, and because while he was signing it, I go, I wrote that. And he goes, really? And I was like, yeah. And I brought you a copy if you want it. And he goes, really? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I can really take this. I was like, I want you to take this. So yeah, he took it. And I gave one to everyone there. So like Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling took one from Smallville.
See, you're living my dream. Rosenbaum and Welling. I was a Smallville and Supernatural guy.
Yeah, they both took a copy. They're excited about it. Garth DJ was Garth in Supernatural. He took a copy. Yep. Richard, who was Loki and Gabriel, took a copy. I couldn't get to Jensen, but he's next year, so I have plans to do that. But yeah, I'm a huge Supernatural fan. I used to go to all the conventions. I've had VIP passes, and the very first time they saw me, I was supposed to get a picture with Jared and Jensen, and Jared stepped on me, and I fell into Jensen, which at the time was horrifying, and now I'm thrilled that happened. But 3 months later, when I was backstage, Jared remembered it, and he goes, "Didn't I step on you?" And I was like, "Yes, you did." So, those are the memories I've got going on. So
that's awesome. Very awesome.
That's
awesome. So people go out and grab this Worthy Comics. Go to is it worthycomics.com?
It's worthychaoscomics.com, but the easiest way to find us on Kickstarter is to search a Worthy Chaos, and it pops right up. We're the only thing that pops up. We have 7 or 8 campaigns there, some pre-launches. Issue 9 is pre-launched there already with the plushies. We have our Anubis plushies that are going to be on issue 9.
That one's cool.
Yeah, this one is our first commercially made one. And it's it's amazing. They're all high quality, but this one is the other ones are all handmade, and this one was commercially made. So this was a huge risk, but I couldn't resist. So
I like the Anubis, and that goes. I teach ancient history to middle schoolers. I'd love to have one of those sitting on my couch in the classroom.
Well, the reason why I got the commercially released one is because as much as I absolutely love these, and I will always have, the handmade ones. This is our vampire chameleon bats and stuff. But they're more expensive because they're handmade and they're limited edition. So these are like a lot more because I don't make a lot of profit from them. But these I got so they're a little bit more affordable for people because everyone wanted a plushie and they couldn't afford it. So hopefully that'll help that a little bit. But yeah, people are asking for them nonstop. So hopefully it's a good sell and I can order more and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, plushies galore.
Awesome.
Hey, Josh, you got anything else or?
I think we're good. Check out Redemption, right?
Yeah. Well,
Redemption.
Worthy Chaos is the best way to say it because if you were to search Redemption on Kickstarter, you would have about 700 hits. So
Okay.
search for Worthy Chaos. And it will be the only ones that pop up and it'll be a lot easier for people. We're also on we're also on Twitter at worthy_chaos. We have about 5.3 thousand followers. And on Facebook, I have 5,000 followers, which you could just add me, Corissa Grant, or we have a Facebook group that you can join it, which is Worthy Chaos, where you could see pages ahead of time and sketches and plushies and all that fun stuff. And also podcasters can post their links, artists can post their commissions, and other creators can post their Kickstarters. So it's very indie orientated. We like to support all indie people. So
Awesome. Yep. So look up Worthy Chaos for the comic named Redemption. She's on issue 8 now. The first 3 are available on their website, and then you can get others from
the hardcover. The hardcover is 1 through 7, and you can get that for $39 on the website.
Awesome. So yeah, pick up that hardcover, get ready for issue 8, and check out this great indie comic, guys. I'm telling you, it's a great read. Not for kids.
Yeah, no.
Don't read. It is mature.
But surprisingly, like parents ask me all the time at cons, what is this rated? And I said, well, they curse nonstop and there's a lot of gore. So what do they say to me? Yeah, but is there nudity? I was like, no, there's no nudity. And they're like, okay, and they buy it. So it's not for kids, but kids are buying it. But yeah, so there's that. And also for Kickstarter 8, everyone can buy past issues, the hardcover too, if they want. They can buy all variants and back issues as add-ons, so everyone can do, and you can even buy issue 1 PDF for $5 or issue 1 printed for 10 or issue 8. So you don't have to start at 8, you can start early. It's just, a lot of Kickstarters don't do that, but I don't make people buy the catch-up tier. If you want to just buy 1, you could just buy 1. If you just want to buy 1 and get the 2 in add-ons, people do that because Anubis starts in 2, so got to get Anubis. But, and he's in it more and more as the time goes. He becomes the main character eventually, and he sides with my characters. But right now he's not the friendliest guy. But he plays fetch with a hellhound at the end of 4. So yeah,
awesome,
very cool.
Check it out. You guys look it up. Worthy Chaos Comics. Get in there and find a great new read.
Yeah.
Till next time, we will see you at the shop or the con.